before and after. I'm really excited about this tutorial because my dad has these two bootcut jeans that no longer fit him. So I found that this was the perfect opportunity to take those two jeans and turn it into a long sleeve sweater. The materials are two denim jeans, black thread, chalk, fabric scissors, a grid ruler, and a measuring tape. Alright, so these are our materials, but the amount of jeans that you will need are determined based on your measurements, but you may need less, you may need more. It'll all depend on your measurements. So with your measuring tape, you'll want to take your measurement of your arm, your shoulder, the measurement from your shoulder to the length you want the sweater to fit you, from the neck down. And here's the thing, you see the neckline? I made it wide because I wanted it to be easy to put in and take off. If you make it very short, almost like a crew neck, you'll need to add a zipper in the back so you have a wide enough opening to fit your head in. So make sure that you make it nice and wide if you're not going to use a zipper in the back. Alright, so this is how we're going to deconstruct the jeans. So we're going to take the first pair of jeans and cut off the legs. Be careful not to cut off the pocket. You want to be able to salvage that on another project. We're going to take this and cut it open. Basically, this is our fabric to draw the pattern. Now we're going to take the other pair of jeans and cut off the legs of the pants. These are going to serve as our arms. I'm going to explain how. I know it's such a huge difference. The pants are so wide to get this, but it's perfect because as you can see, you're going to cut it the way an arm sleeve looks like. So an arm sleeve, our sleeve tends to have this curve. Do you see this shape? That's the shape that you want to cut it off because that's going to serve as our arm sleeve. And you won't have to replicate this shape once you cut it. All you'll have to do is take in the fabric, which I'll show you next. Remember the measurement that we took of our arm? With your chalk, you're going to draw a line as to where you want the arm to fit. If you want it very tight or loose, that's what you want to do with the arm. You're drawing the length and the length of the arm shape, like this here. So it's this measurement and then this measurement. And that will be the length of your arm sleeve. Okay, next. In order for you to make the pattern of the front and back, the easiest way is to take the fabric, place it over yourself, and then with your chalk, get a feeling as to where you want it to land. You see how I'm doing it here? I am determining where I would like the neck to be. What you're going to want to do is take those chalk lines and refine your pattern. Now that you have the refined shape, you're going to fold it in half and then cut it. So this way, once you open it, you have the mirror reflection of your pattern, and this will be the front. Now, to make the back, you're going to take your front pattern and you're going to place it on top of the fabric. The back tends to be higher in the neck area. It tends to be higher, so you know that you're just going to trace your chalk through the pattern, the same shoulder length, and then you're going to curve it. But you're going to make a curve that is higher than the front. You'll also want to cut out one of the pockets to make this. One of the pockets we're going to use to make a pocket front. So make sure to cut it and have it ready for you. It's that simple. And now, the exciting part. We have the front, we have our pocket, we have the back pattern, the front pattern, the pockets, and the two arm sleeves. We can start sewing. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to do a French seam and a flat thumb seam. First, we're going to sew the front and the back pattern. In the shoulder, we're going to do a flat thumb seam. So when you sew a 1/5 of an eighth of a seam allowance, that's 0.675. So you're going to sew that in the wrong side, which means that it's in the inside, and then you're gonna trim one side to 1/4, and you're gonna iron that open. Please make sure to iron. The more crisp your seam is, the easier it is to maneuver when you're sewing. And then you're going to fold it like this, sew that in. And there, that's your flat foam seam. And you want it to be a flat foam seam here in the shoulder so it lands nicely when you wear it. It's also a similar seam that you see throughout denim, so it's like the perfect seam. Now that you have the shoulders sewn in together, we're gonna sew the pocket. You want to make sure to sew the pocket way before you sew the two panels together on the side or add the sleeves, because if you sew the pocket now, it's just gonna be so much easier to apply. Trust me. Here's the thing though, I started to sew the pocket without removing that extra fabric that's in the pocket. Make sure to remove it. Now we're sewing the pocket, and this pocket is pretty easy. You're going to cut that top seam. You don't need it. You want the seam in the sides and in the bottom. We're gonna fold it inside and then sew on that very skinny edge. And you're gonna do the same all throughout. Fold it in and sew, fold it in and sew, and there you have your pocket. So now that we've sewn together the pocket, we're gonna sew the side seams of the top. We're gonna use a French seam. A French seam is 5/8 of a seam. Sew it in the right side, which means the front side, and then trim it down to 1/4. However, I don't have enough seam allowance to sew it 5/8 first, so I just sewed it 1/4 all throughout. Do the same. If you want to save your fabric, or you maybe didn't add enough seam allowance, don't worry about it, because you can just go straight into sewing 1/4 and you still have your French seam, because we're gonna sew 1/4 in the front, then you iron it, you turn it around, fold it in, you sew a straight line, and then you sew a top stitch in the wrong side, which means the inside. This way it lands nice and straight, just like this. So now that we have our pocket and the top sewn on, the next and almost last step is to add our arm sleeves. So we're going to take our arm sleeves and sew straight into the chalk line that we made, just straight ahead. Then cut it off. You're going to cut off and leave 1 inch of a seam. I recommend to do a French seam. Me personally, I just sewed straight in and left the seam allowance inside. It was a mistake not to do the French seam on the inside, because now I have to trim it down and do a flat foam seam, but then just hand sew it. But it doesn't bother me, so I'll do that later. Use the French seam and you won't have this finishing. You'll have the finishing that you have on the inside. I don't have a serger, so I tend to always use a French seam or a flat foam seam. So attaching the arm is pretty simple. You're going to clip the edges together and then sew 0.5 of a seam allowance. And this is the result. My opening was too big. You can fix this easily, and this is what I did. What you're gonna do, you're going to pinch it where you need the hole to close in. So I knew that I needed to pinch it here, and then what I did was that I drew it in my chalk line, the straight line, and then sewed it straight, and that fixed the problemo. If this happens to you and your armhole is too big, that's the solution to fixing it. Here's something extra. If you want your arms to have this distressed touch, you can take your scissor and your seam ripper and just scrape off, and then pull the seam, those little threads, white threads, and there you have your ripped denim. I personally didn't do it all throughout because I like this nice cut look to this long sleeve. I personally think though that if you're going to do this distressed look, you should do it all throughout and go for it. Don't do just this a small one. I did the small one to show you guys a sample of how it may look and how to do it. But personally, I feel like I'm just gonna take a patch that I've made and cover it up. A patch that I've made like this one, and cover it up so it looks super cool, right? Whatever you have left, fold it and place it to the side. You'll want to save this for later projects. This has been our transformation. We've turned these denim boot cut jeans into a long sleeve sweater. It's a perfect piece that you can layer on top of like another garment. And the pocket, it's perfect because my phone fits in there, so it's nice. It's a perfect fit. I'm super happy with the result, and I hope you have an amazing experience taking old denim jeans and transforming them into a long sleeve sweater. What do you think? And it's tailor-made, it's recycled. You repurposed a old garment and turned it into something nuevo. I hope you've also enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you think. Share your experience in the comments, and I hope to see you again. Make sure to subscribe because we're one big happy familia here. I upload new videos every Saturday. Make sure to subscribe and share the love. We'll see each other next Saturday.